We were working on the cover design for one of our latest books just the other day. The upcoming book is entitled Wrestling Prayer. Wrestling Prayer. What should a cover look like for a title like that? Our designer had one cover with a flame on it, one with a person with hands raised heavenward, one with praying hands. It's a really hard concept to catch in a picture. So we tried something that felt a bit corny, but we went for it anyway. I ran upstairs and grabbed my old antique sword from my closet, figuring we could possibly take a few artistically angled shots with it in the grip of two praying hands. When I brought it downstairs, my little 4-year-old's eyes lit up with excitement. "Daddy, what's that?" "Well, that's Daddy's sword," I said. "What's a sword?" he asked with great interest. "That's what Daddy uses to beat up the Big Meanie." Now, to catch you up on a little of the terminology of the Luty household, Big Meanie is our family's name for Satan. He's the official Big Meanie. Goliath is, of course, a Big Meanie as well, but he's not the Big Meanie. It gets a bit complicated, but somehow little Hudson seems to grasp the notion that there is a battle, and it's Jesus and the saints of God against the Big Meanie and all his little meanie spiritual sidekicks. So I whipped the sword from its sheath and showed him how it was to be held and how it was to be used. Then he watched carefully as I held it for the brief photo shoot. The photo shoot was kind of cheesy, but to Hudson it was thrilling. There was his daddy with the weapon that could take down the Big Meanie. The next morning, Hudson announced to someone who came over to our house, "This is my daddy's sword, and he fights the Big Meanie with it." It was at that point that I attempted to share with him that, actually, this sword is only a symbol of the sword that I actually used to fight the Big Meanie with. "What?" he stated with quizzical wonder scribbled across his face. "Prayer is Daddy's real sword," I said. "When Daddy prays, I hurt the Big Meanie, I weaken him, and I take things from his possession that really belong to Jesus." To be honest, I'm not so sure Hudson fully grasped the distinction between the physical sword and the weaponry of prayer. He's been asking every day to see me fight the Big Meanie with my sword. So I always say, "Okay, Hudson, let's swing our swords by doing some serious praying." I think he really wants me to jam that very real metallic sword into the very real gut of the Big Meanie. Yes, little Hudson is all boy. One of my number one prayers these past years has been, "God, teach me how this battle really works, because I'm wanting to fight it and fight it well. I'm wanting to win it and win it every time." The prayer of faith is a very real sword, and it's God's weapon of choice. It really does hurt the Big Meanie. It weakens him, and it takes things from his possession that really belong to Jesus. So I would encourage you to join me in bringing your sword out of the closet and dusting it off for some very real battle with the Big Meanie. Prayer is the act of battle. It's the taking of territory, the removal of enemy power, and the grabbing hold of promises. And it's serious business and serious fun. Here's to becoming little kids with swords again. For Moody Radio, I'm Eric Luty. Please visit me at ericluty.com.